We all love the magic of AI, right? Quick answers, art on demand, therapy sessions whenever you need it. But there's a problem, and almost nobody is talking about this issue. This tech, the one that you and I are using right now, is quietly burning through millions of gallons of water, insane amount of electricity, and pumping out more CO2 than you can ever imagine. And the scary part? Most of us have no idea it's happening. Or worse, actually, we do know, but we just choose to ignore it. The irony of this video, because I'm also using AI for the thumbnails and the writing of this video. Yeah, I know. But if you're using Chat GPT, Midjourney, Copilot, or any other AI software, this affects you too. So let's dive in to the part of AI that nobody warned us about, and why it's only getting worse. You know how some people are polite to Chat GPT, like saying please and thank you? I don't do this, but maybe you do. Sam Altman mentioned once that OpenAI spends tens of millions of electricity just responding to us being nice. Tens of millions. For politeness. To robots who don't even have feelings. I pay for ChatGPT like it's Netflix. Except instead of binge watching shows about serial killers, I'm binge asking an algorithm to explain why my friend sent this at 3 a.m. in the morning. Every time you ask ChatGPT to generate a picture of a cat wearing a tuxedo, you're using about 10 times more energy than a Google search. Just training ChatGPT once releases over 600,000 pounds of CO2 into the atmosphere. That's like buying 5 cars, driving them until they die of old age, and then having a Viking funeral for each one just because you felt like it. And the water. Oh my goodness, the water. Millions of gallons just to keep these servers from melting. One AI generated image can use the same amount of energy it takes to fully charge your phone. One image of whatever fever dream you're asking it to manifest these days. But wait, it gets so much worse. Meta. You know, the company that gave us the Metaverse nobody asked for and somehow made virtual reality so boring? They're building this absolutely massive AI campus in Louisiana. They're calling it Sucra. Sucra? Which sounds like a bootleg Supra if you ask me. But it's actually a 4 million square foot monument just for faster robot responses. This thing is going to demolish 2,000 acres of what used to be farmland. Farmland. Like, let's grow some food so humans don't starve dirt. And now it's going to be a robot brain sucking down on our precious fossil fuels. It's literally enough electricity to run like 2 million homes. But instead of powering families, watching Netflix, and kids doing their homework who probably ask AI to do it, it's powering more polite conversations with AI. It's like we're paying premium prices to talk to really expensive imaginary friends. Oh, and they're not even pretending to use renewable energy. Natural gas turbines. 360 million cubic feet of gas daily. That's like setting 60,000 barrels of oil every day just to keep the lights on. For context, that's enough fuel to drive from New York to LA for about 50,000 times daily, just so we can ask AI to write our resumes for us. And that's just Meta's project, just one company's race to reach the top of the food chain. OpenAI, Oracle, and Microsoft are also working on something called the Stargate project, a 500 billion AI expansion starting in Texas.
Stargate, put that name down in your books, because I think you're going to hear a lot about it in the future. A new American company that will invest $500 billion at least in AI infrastructure.
$500 billion with the B word. That's more money than some countries see in a decade. I mean, what are we doing here? Did we lose our minds after COVID?
Thank God for COVID.
Let me be brutally honest with you for a second though, because I'm incapable of shame. I'm one of those people who says I care about the environment. I have a reusable water bottle. I separate my recycling sometimes. I feel morally superior about refusing plastic straws, even though they're more convenient and I miss them every day. But I've also definitely thrown batteries in the regular trash because the recycling centers was across town and I didn't want to make that trip. I'm basically an environmental disaster with good intentions. So when I first learned about AI's environmental impact, I had this moment of horror. Oh shit, I'm part of the problem. I actually tried to cut back on my AI usage for about, I don't know, 2 weeks, maybe 3, if I'm being generous about my memory, which I'm not. But then I had a deadline and a writer's block, and Chat GPT was sitting right there on my browser, like a drug dealer. Hey, you want help some brainstorming? First hit's free. Just this once, I told myself. It was absolutely not just once. And here we are, still here, still using it, still asking Chat GPT to write apology emails to people I don't even want to say sorry to. I think that's the scariest part of all this, honestly. We're getting desensitized to these insane numbers. 600,000 pounds of CO2 might as well be a gazillion trillion pounds. Our monkey brain just look at these numbers and blue screens. So we just scroll past the climate warnings, back to the memes and the drama and the endless cycle of content that helps us forget. Oh no, correction, designed to make us forget. We don't feel the damage, so we don't change. And that terrifies me more than the actual damages sometimes. It's like my house is burning to the ground, but hey, Liam Neeson's on TV. But here's where this story gets genuinely weird, because while AI is absolutely devouring resources, it's kind of also brilliant at saving them. Stay with me here because this is the part that makes me feel slightly less guilty. AI is already running smart power grids, figuring out exactly when to use solar and wind energy instead of just burning coal like we used to. It's detecting water leaks before they waste millions of gallons, kind of like having a really good plumber that never charges over time and doesn't judge your bathroom decor either. It's predicting floods, fires, and droughts, so we can actually do something about them instead of just watching the news about it. You can now see farmers using AI to water their crops. There's no more spray everything with water and hope for the best. Garbage trucks are also following AI optimized routes, so that also burns less fuel while collecting more trash. Even your electric car can ask AI when the best time is to charge, and it's basing it on how clean the power grid is at the exact moment. Your car is literally having a conversation with the electrical grid to know the best time to eat. We're living in the future, folks. And here's something that actually gives me hope. There's a company in Nevada called Redwood Materials that's taking dead electric car batteries and turning them into power sources for AI data centers. It's like the most beautiful kind of reincarnation. I don't know if it makes me feel better or worse, honestly. My brain is working hard trying to figure out if we're saved or completely screwed. There's something else that's been bothering me though, and it's more philosophical than environmental, which means it's the kind of thing that keeps you awake at 3 a.m. wondering if you've made all the wrong life choices. It's literally 3 a.m. right now too. Everyone keeps saying AI is just a tool, kind of like a hammer or a screwdriver. But when's the last time you said please to a hammer? When's the last time you trusted your screwdriver to write your performance review or help you work through an existential crisis at 2 a.m.? Which might be the real problem here. Not just the energy usage, but the emotional dependency we're all developing. The way we're starting to outsource not just our work, but also our thinking, our decision making, literally our basic human function. I caught myself the other day asking ChatGPT what I should have for lunch. Like I've forgotten how to make basic decisions without assistance. Like somewhere in my brain, I decided that a computer that has never eaten food knows better than whether I want a molokhia or adobo. Next thing you know, I'll be asking AI if I should go to the bathroom. Actually, don't give them ideas. Somebody's probably already done that. So what do we do with all this information? What do we do with the guilt and the wonder and the complete confusion if we're just in an episode of Black Mirror? Tech companies are basically putting AI on a diet. They're trimming down neural networks, kind of like digital bonsai trees. They're cutting out parts that aren't helping. They're also using something called quantization, which is a fancy word for shrinking files. Another trick they use is transfer learning. Instead of starting from scratch every time, AI can remember what it learned before and build on it. And the hardware is getting smarter too. New chips use way less to do the same work. Most of the big tech companies have promised to run their data centers on 100% renewable energy. Google, Amazon, Microsoft, they've all made these grand announcements about solar panels and wind farms, like they're competing in some kind of green energy race. Whether they actually follow through on these promises, well, that's like asking people if they actually stick with their New Year's resolutions. Their intention is good, but the follow through is questionable. But at least they're feeling enough pressure from people like us, and probably their shareholders who are worried about looking bad. We're also getting smarter about building these data centers. I'm saying where, as if I'm part of it. And they're using materials that don't end up in landfills. And if you're staring at the ceiling wondering if we're doomed, a start feels better than nothing. You know what's hilarious though? Everyone's panicking about AI taking their job. And yeah, it probably will. Some jobs are definitely going to disappear faster, mine included. That's why I'm trying to do this YouTube stuff, so please watch it all the way through and engage with my videos. Thank you. That's just the reality, and I'm not here to lie to you about it. But we've all been here before, haven't we? We're basically experts at freaking out about technology by now. The printing press put all those sexy freaks that were hand copying books out of work. The Industrial Revolution replaced artisans with machines. Artisans? Artisan? I don't know how to say that word. Not to mention cars. They murdered the horse and buggy industry. I mean, other than Amish people, that's thriving in their neighborhood. Also, calculators. They probably put a bunch of human calculators out of business back then when computer was an actual job title. Every time we thought it was the end of the world, each time humanity looked at the new thing, panicked for a while, and then found new ways to be useful. New problems to solve, new things to complain about. Maybe AI won't destroy humanity. Maybe it'll just force us to evolve. Maybe if we're really smart about this whole thing, AI can help us live with less waste, less mindless consumption, more actual intention behind the choices we make, instead of just buying stuff because it was on sale. That's the dream anyways. To stop chasing more of everything and start being grateful for enough of the right things. Like having enough food, enough shelter, enough Crunchyroll passwords shared among friends. I want to believe that. I need to believe that. Honestly, because the alternative is too depressing to think about, and I already have enough reasons to lie awake at night questioning my life choices. If you could go back to 2005 and show someone what AI can do today, they'd completely lose their minds. The robots are coming level of panic. The idea that you could have actual conversations with a computer, ask it to write a song or solve a complex math problem, or help you plan an entire vacation to places you've never even been before, it would seem impossible. But now, we shrug and ask it to make the response funnier, or explain it like we're 5 years old. That's the best prompt ever. Chat GPT, explain quantum physics but make it sound like a TikTok video. And it does. And we're like, yeah, that's normal now. We become so used to miracles that we've forgotten they're miraculous. It's like living with a genie, but being annoyed that it takes 3 seconds instead of 2 to grant your wishes. And I think that's a problem, because I want us to remember what it cost, what it took to get here, what it takes to stay here, what we owe to the planet that's supporting this wild experiment. Also, what we owe to the underpaid workers in other countries who are probably dealing with the actual physical consequences while we sit here asking AI to write more shit. Shout out to the miners. So, here we are. AI is incredible, terrifying, beautiful, and destructive all at the same time. It's like dating someone really attractive, but also might be a serial killer. It's making our lives easier while making our global problems way more complicated. It's showing us glimpses of an amazing future while potentially setting the present on fire. And we're all just figuring it out as we go, hoping we don't accidentally break anything while we're trying to make everything better. The question isn't whether AI is good or bad anymore. That ship has sailed and hit an iceberg. It's here, and we're using it. The cat is out of the bag, and it has learned how to code. How do we live with it without losing ourselves in the process? How do we keep our humanity while we're handing over more and more of our thinking to machines that were really good at math? How do we enjoy magic without completely ignoring the cost? Maybe admitting we don't know what we're doing is the first step to something better. Do whatever feels right. We're all just winging it and hoping for the best. Thanks for watching, and take care of yourselves.